at the end of the day, I don't think they'll go there. I don't think they can. They're in a box. They are in a box where they've got to choose between a mentally incompetent president and a DEI vice president, and they know that they're going to be facing a problem either way.
You can obviously see that he's ignorant as all get out. And number two, you can see that he wishes he had half the competency of Vice President Kamala Harris. Damn! Don't talk to me about what a DEI hire looks like, because we know that you have never, ever engaged in diversity, equity, or inclusion when it came to your office. So we know that you don't know anything about hiring diversity. But let me tell you one of the real facts about diversity in this country. We're missing out on trillions of dollars in GDP, and they can go and check the receipts if they want to, because we have the rogue governors coming out of the state of Texas that are anti-DEI. We've got the rogue governor in Florida and so forth. And so what they need to do is get over their incompetence and just try to get on our level and decide that they're going to compete and start to come up with actual policies instead of going after people because of how they look or how they were born.
Okay, first of all, Chip Roy, I mean, he just sounds like that one dude in every Oscar bait movie who's overtly racist to the point of parody.
And one racist who's so cartoonishly racist that other racists watch this movie and say, well, at least I'm not that racist.
Well, look at what we have here.
And two, we know that when they use DEI as some form of derogatory term, it's a dog whistle for what they really want to say.
Bottom line here is that it's going to go to Kamala, if anybody, because she was a DEI hire, and she was hired because President Biden said when he was a candidate that he wanted to hire a woman to be his number two. And then after the BLM riots, then he got a lot of pressure to have a black woman.
The DEI thing I strongly disagree with here, but this is not my place to have the disagreement with you. It's Alice's. So Alice...
Yeah, it's right. You shouldn't talk, John, you shouldn't talk like that. It makes you sound like a racist. Don't talk like that.
Thankfully, Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas had some choice words for her fellow Texan. Representative Chip Roy appeared on Fox Business and claimed that Vice President Harris was only appointed as some form of diversity, equity, and inclusion hire. This amid some long-winded rant about how Democrats will not move to force out President Biden despite concerns over his ability, meaning Biden's ability to beat Chip Roy's candidate. You know, the convicted felon found liable of sexual assault.
They found him guilty not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. I could keep going on, but 34 counts were given. So the opinions of these people who were not juries is not what we do in this country. In this country, we have a system in which jurors decide who is found guilty. And if you have a problem with that, you go to the appellate court, which the last time I checked, he was raising money so that he could go to the appellate court and appeal his decision, and they will have the final say so. Thank you so much.
Yes, they will.
But when asked about it on air with Joy Reid, Crockett had some words for the fella most known for providing stellar Democratic campaign ads.
At the end of the day, I don't think they'll go there. I don't think they can. They're in a box. They are in a box where they've got to choose between a mentally incompetent president and a DEI vice president, and they know that they're going to be facing a problem either way.
Now, I know that you are wont to read a loser when a loser says a thing, so I'm just going to let you comment on what you think about those words.
Again, you know what? I want people to listen to them. If you just listen to what they say, it will tell you everything that you need to know. Number one, you can obviously see that he's ignorant as all get out. And number two, you can see that he wishes he had half the competency of Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't talk to me about what a DEI hire looks like, because we know that you have never, ever engaged in diversity, equity, or inclusion when it came to your office. So we know that you don't know anything about hiring diversity. But let me tell you one of the real facts about diversity in this country. We're missing out on trillions of dollars in GDP, and they can go and check the receipts if they want to, because we have the rogue governors coming out of the state of Texas that are anti-DEI. We've got the rogue governor in Florida and so forth. And so what they need to do is get over their incompetence and just try to get on our level and decide that they're going to compete and start to come up with actual policies instead of going after people because of how they look or how they were born. Instead, they need to focus on taking care of the American people, which means that you're going to take care of people other than just white folk. It means that you take care of brown, Hispanic, Asian, and everyone.
But anyway, Chip.
Well.
Since we're on the subject of who is or isn't qualified for their position, let's look at Kamala Harris's credentials, shall we?
Kamala Harris is the 49th Vice President of the United States and the first woman, first Black person, and first South Asian American to have been elected Vice President.
Since 1789, there have been only 2 other female VP nominees from a major party, Geraldine Ferraro and Sarah Palin, and a single female presidential nominee. Like these women, Harris has a career full of firsts.
She was elected Attorney General of the most populous state in America, the first woman to do so. This after serving as an elected district attorney.
District attorney for the city and county of San Francisco.
Congratulations.
And she was a senator also.
I swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Once Harris made it to the Senate, she really made her mark not so much through legislation, but in the hearing room.
Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm not thinking of any right now, Senator.
Before going on to break through more ceilings as the first woman elected vice president. And what exactly are Chip Roy's credentials and accomplishments?
Well.
Well, in 2021, he invoked a quote that glorified lynching during a hearing intended to address a surge in anti-Asian violence.
The mood became tense after one lawmaker's comments brought an angry response.
We believe in justice, right? There's old sayings in Texas about, find all the rope in Texas and get a tall oak tree. We take justice very seriously, and we ought to do that. Round up the bad guys.
Now, after that exchange, Congressman Roy, the rope and tree fella from Texas, later told NBC News that he had, quote, no apologies for his remarks.
Not only that, but his office has called efforts to teach school children about systemic racism, quote, woke racist indoctrination. Earlier this year, he also complained that Democrats are trying to, quote, remake America and end Western civilization with their immigration policies. Just groundbreaking stuff right there from Chip.
Half this body's not even going to be here. And they're lying. They're lying on forms saying that they're voting by proxy for COVID. And it's a lie. And half this body's going to do it. You know it. And it's destroying this country. I'm not going to just sit here and roll over on this. This is going to continue. The American people are going to know precisely what's happening to them by the people's house. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Pennsylvania reserves. The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized. Members are reminded to direct their comments to the chair. Gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.
And Mr. Speaker, I want to remind the members that the microphones are working. People don't have to shout.
And the major takeaway is this, right? It's all projection. Nothing scares people like Chip Roy more than an intelligent, accomplished black woman calling to attention their own inability to govern. I mean, the man has stated on countless occasions himself that his party are a do-nothing party, to the point that this is what he's most known for, that and being one of the only Republicans to issue a slightly comical condemnation of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
One thing. I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, one, that I can go campaign on and say we did. One. Anybody sitting in the complex, if you want to come down to the floor and come explain to me one material, meaningful, significant thing the Republican majority has done. We talk about, we only have a slim majority. Well, I will remind my colleagues on this side of the aisle, the Democrats had a slim majority when they've jammed through numerous massive bills, whether it's Obamacare, whether we're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. Yet here we sit, and we're walking away from the majority that we were given to use that majority, to use the power of the purse, to stop an executive branch that is out of control.
And for him to call Kamala Harris a DEI hire is not only blatantly racist, it's misogynist, clearly minimizing her capabilities in an attempt to pander to bigots. And Republicans, they know exactly what they're doing here when they use this term derogatively, taking it straight out of the woke CRT Obama needs to provide his birth certificate bullshit playbook.
And with DEI hiring, in which demand exceeds supply, always. That's just the way it is. You're not going to find another Kamala.
There's a lot at stake. Plus, the progressive movement, they are this close to locking this thing in.
They have opened the borders. They've changed the entire culture of this country. If you look at the cities, it's almost over. If they can drag him across the finish line and install Kamala, we have a DEI presidency that they can celebrate for the rest of the administration. That's all they need to get to.
It's a title trope that reeks of desperation.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.